Good evening and blessings, everybody out there. What's going on? It's your man, Rod Hickman, Generational Wealth Builders, where poverty ends with us. Listen, super excited to come to you tonight. I am hailing you all the way from Louisville, Kentucky, where I'm up here. Got some stuff to do on business. But as y'all know, we're still fighting the good fight of financial literacy. And so I have the opportunity, and I always love this opportunity where we can celebrate entrepreneurs, where we can celebrate people who have made a decision to plant their flag about in business, right? In business for sure. But it especially joys my heart when we can find great people of substance that have decided to partner with us and share this message of financial literacy. So I am always pleased. My wife and I are always pleased when we have the opportunity to do a new agent spotlight. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this couple that's coming up. I am so excited about them. I'm so excited about who they are and what they've done in a short amount of time. They've come in and they've brought a very different energy into our organization. And for that, I'm so grateful. Again, I am over the moon, elated to see what they accomplish because I can tell you they are dreamers, right? And a lot of times people don't dream anymore. And so I am super excited to introduce to you all and present to others the leaders of the Generational Wealth Builder Dynasty organization, Paul and Carolyn Pierce. How y'all doing this evening?
Hi, we're doing well. How are
Doing
you?
well.
All right, doing well. So good to see y'all here. I want to thank y'all for getting on tonight. So, how about we go ahead on and get started? Go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody. Who are Paul and Carolyn Pierce?
Okay, I'll go first. I am Carolyn Pierce. I am a 60 something year old customer service professional. I'm twice retired. But retirement's a little bit overrated, so I figure I'll always be doing something as long as God give me health and strength in my body.
Right.
And I'm into entrepreneurship because we have a goal. We want to become independently financially secure, and you're not going to do that working for someone else. So, entrepreneurship is the only way to go.
Okay. All right, Mr. Paul.
Yes, my name is Paul Pierce, and it kind of got into this here. Well, I got into it because of my wife. She introduced me to
Hmm.
it, and it was off to the races from there.
Yes. Yes.
So it's a good push, good people, good family to
Yes.
work with. So we're going with the push.
All right. All
Okay.
right. Love hearing that. Well, listen, so again, we're excited about having y'all here. And I know that when we went to Atlanta the other week for our regional convention, that both of you all experienced the shift. Can y'all tell us what that's about? Tell us about that shift.
Well, I was excited anyway. I've been excited about the business from day one.
Hmm.
The opportunities, but mainly the opportunity to help people.
Hmm.
I've learned so many different things about the insurance industry that I did not know. And I thought I was a person that stayed on top of things. But I've learned so much that I did not know these products were out there or available. And so I was excited from Jump Street. But when I got to Atlanta, the excitement, the atmosphere, the energy, and I saw so many young people,
Hmm.
that are successful in this business, 20 something year olds making, three, four, $500,000 a year. And it's exciting to see that for them. And that's one of the things I encourage young people to always go for more. My son growing up, I told him, I said, you life is a smorgasbord. You can have what you want out of it, but you have to be willing to work for it.
Right.
And so circumstances occurred in 2024 that kind of gave me the push to where I said, you know what, I'll never be in that position ever again. I promised my husband I'd never be in that position ever again.
Mm-hmm.
And I began on a journey to become independently wealthy.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow. Well, it's funny you say that because I know we've had conversations about that. Um, 2024 was hard for a lot of people. Uh,
Mm,
and some people uh, choose to get better, like you and Mr. Paul, but some people tend to get bitter. In your opinion, why is it that people get bitter when things happen to them instead of getting better?
because they don't know that there's a way out. They think that they're stuck and there's no way out for them. There's no hope.
Hmm.
And my prayer is always, Lord God, give the people that have no hope, give them hope. Send
Hmm.
somebody in their lives
Hmm.
to show them the way.
Hmm.
There is hope. If you're willing to work it, put your shoulder to the grindstone, um, and look for someone to mentor you. If you don't know the way, look for someone to mentor you who's doing what you want to do.
That's powerful. You got anything you want to add to that, Mr. Paul?
Well, the only thing I can add is that when we went to the big show, that's
Yes.
what I'm gonna call it, the big show.
Yes.
When we went to the big show, I wasn't expecting what we found there.
Gotcha.
And to see and to feel all the energy that was in that room,
And the excitement, yes.
the excitement,
Hmm.
and well, let's just say it like this, the camaraderie
Mm.
Okay.
is explosive.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good word
And
for
you can reach out and you can feel it.
Gotcha.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what drew you in.
Yes, sir. That's what
Yeah,
drew me in.
yeah, man. And I tell you, I know I've seen it. And we've talked about that several times about how just seeing you go from, kind of like, all right, there now to now, we're seeing the real Paul Pierce. Uh, show up, right? We're seeing the real Paul Pierce in there in the office talking with the young people as you all are growing and developing your understanding of the products and services that we have. Well, again, that's phenomenal. I am so
Yeah.
excited to have that. And I will agree with you. Some people, when they get down, they tend to lock themselves off. They don't want to talk with nobody. They tend to isolate themselves off. It's woe is me. It's victim, victim, victim. But here's the thing about that, and I guess I would just add this to that. There's nothing productive that comes from victimhood. Nothing.
That's true. That's true.
Nothing productive comes from victimhood. It's all a spiral, a negative spiral down. Uh,
Mhm.
and so that's why I'm super excited to see y'all bouncing up, especially after your 2024 that
Yes.
you had. Again, I'm super excited to see you bouncing up. So again, tell me about the name Generational Wealth Builder Dynasty. Where did that come from?
Okay. Um, for years, God has been downloading business ideas to me. I mean, it's like we can have a conversation and immediately a way to monetize that subject of that conversation, God just downloads it to me. And
Mhm.
so I was like, Lord, why are you giving me all these business ideas? I don't have the money to start these businesses. How can I, as one person, have so many businesses?
Mhm.
So then one Sunday morning, as I was preparing to watch service online that was during like when we were not in church. We were doing online. And God dropped the word conglomerate
Mm.
in my spirit. And I'm like, conglomerate? And I'm like, okay, Lord, where did that come from? And so I knew what conglomerate, had a general understanding of what conglomerate meant, but then I'm like, I go to Mr. Google,
That's right.
look it up and get a good definition for conglomerate. And conglomerate is one main business that other businesses are housed underneath
Hmm.
to form a gigantic conglomerate.
Okay.
And so when he dropped that in my spirit and I got that definition, I said, okay, Lord, I can have all these businesses. I can do all of these businesses that you've been downloading to me all over the years. So that's where the word dynasty comes from, because a dynasty is a large corporation or a large business that houses other businesses. It's something that's bigger than us, you know. And my heart is to help people. I would love to, and I'm thinking in terms of starting a type of business incubator where I can help other people start businesses, learn about becoming an entrepreneur,
Mm.
and actually learning about wealth. A lot of people think that we should not have wealth, but God says that He gives us the power to get wealth.
That's
So if
right.
God gives us the power to get wealth, then I think He intends for us to have wealth. And one of my goals has always been, God, I want everything that you said I could have.
That's right.
You said Jesus came to give us life and life more abundantly. Lord, I want that abundant life.
Exactly
So I spend most of my adult life giving it away. So now it's time for us to,
right. Yeah,
get our share.
exactly right. And I think that's a perfect segue, because one of the things that I know I had to come to the grips with, and for me, I came to grips with this a few years ago. Um, but there's a point where you can give out, right?
Hmm.
Uh, because what we're trying to do, in so many ways, we're literally trying to replace God in the life of others. Now, that's not our natural intention,
Right.
but that's what it is. So we're like, oh, okay, Lord, well, you bless me with this, so now I've got to be a blessing there. And I think one of the things that people miss is this, that some things the Lord wants people to go through. Some things people must go through in
Hmm.
order for them to actually grow. And there are some people where the Lord ain't gonna give them nothing because they don't value what the Lord gives
Exactly.
them. And the scripture that I've been really focusing on with this is about the parable of the talents, where it say he gave one five, one two, and he gave one guy one.
Yes.
The one that had the five and the two, they went and doubled it. But that brother that had the one, he took it and buried it, right? He didn't bring any value back. And I'm saying that to say that sometimes when we are out there utilizing our talents, and the Lord is blessing us with the five and he's blessing us with the two or the three or whatever it is that you have, we feel obligated that we got to go bless the person with one. And you got to understand that that was never the intention of the master. Because
That's
what did he do? He took the one
and
from
gave
the
it to
guy
hmm.
and gave it to the other guy.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
and, and people don't like to look at that because, again, everybody wants to be seen benevolent. And I understand that. I get it. I promise. But again, at the same time, you can mess around and mess yourself off because you're out there trying to give. I can remember, and then I'll get back to you, but I remember this one time we had just started the church,
Hmm.
and there was a family that came and said, Pastor, we need our lights cut on. And again, the ministry here was brand new. And I remember thinking, no, ain't nobody in my church finna be with their lights off, and I got it. You get what I'm saying? Now,
Right.
I'm talking from a place where I had been before. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Oh, ain't nobody finna be with their lights off. So I gave this person the money, or we went and paid the light bill. And it seemed like it wasn't even 2 days later, Mr. Paul, we started having stuff popping up. Bah, bah, bah. And everything that popped up cost just about the same amount of money that we wrote for their light bill.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay.
And I'll never forget, I was like, Lord, what's going on, man? I did this out of the kindness of my heart. And this is what the Lord said to me. And when I tell you, I make no, this was in 2010.
Mm.
So that's almost 15 years ago. Um, and I've never forgotten the word to this day. He said, you can't give that which is blessed to curse folk.
That's right.
And I was like, okay, Jesus, you ain't got to say no more to me. And I'm saying that to say the best thing that we can give to people is the opportunity.
Yes.
That's what we can give them. We can pour faith into them. We can pour belief into them. But the best thing that we could give people is the opportunity. So let's take a switch here. So we're in the insurance industry, and so I just want to know why the insurance industry for you all. Why the insurance industry?
Well, I think it started with me. Even before knowing anything about PHP and insurance, I had a friend in Atlanta who sells insurance, and we talked about it a couple of years ago, and I was not interested. And so I say probably in the last 6 or 7 months, it kept popping in my head, to check into getting start selling life insurance.
Mhm.
And my sister actually years and years ago used to sell life insurance, and she talked to me about it, and I was like, no, I'm not interested.
Right.
So it just kept coming up in my spirit, like insurance wasn't so much as life insurance. And so the very week I planned to call my friend in Atlanta to inquire about getting into the insurance industry, my upline, Tina, made a post on Facebook about insurance, and I just commented, interesting.
Right.
That was it. And she sent me the flyer for one of the meetings, and it was on Thursday when I commented on the post, and the meeting was that Saturday. And I wasn't planning on going, but I won't say something. The Holy Spirit urged me to go.
Hmm.
And so I got up and went that Saturday, and I I try to follow God's leading, and so I knew it was a God thing because things will happen in sequence. It's just like you can't just plan that; it just doesn't happen by happenstance. And so when I got to the meeting, and the one thing that impressed me was as Paul said, the camaraderie, the sincereness of the people there, the genuine caring atmosphere
Yes, ma'am.
that drew me in first of all, and then I met you. And I don't know, and I was just drawn to you. I was drawn to your personality, your persona. It's just something, spirit to spirit. I was just drawn to you. And it wasn't even halfway through the presentation. Uh, God dropped in my spirit of join.
Mhm.
And me being from the real estate industry, we always do our due diligence. So me being from the industry, real estate industry, I'm
Mhm.
like, I got to do my due diligence. I got to go check out the BBB,
Right.
go in and check out the reviews, see what people are saying about this company,
Right.
and I had a conversation with you. I think I told you this. I said, then I've got to pray about it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And so then, but I knew even before halfway through the meeting that I was going to join. But I was like, let me go and check out the Better Business Bureau and check out what the reviews say. But I walked away knowing that I was going to join, and I think by that Thursday following, that's when I signed up. I called Tina and told her I was ready.
Right. I
Yeah,
remember that day. Yes, ma'am.
yes,
I remember that day.
yeah.
So let's talk a little bit. Why do you think you were not interested in insurance beforehand?
Well, I guess watching my sister sell insurance, she was going door to door and having to collect people's premiums and everything. And that was something I didn't want to do. I wasn't interested in. I've had a lot of trades throughout life. I've always had some type of business on the side. I've sewn all of my life ever since before I even started grade school. I used to make my Barbie doll clothes, and
Okay.
my mother sewed, and so I grew up sewing. I've tried sewing. I tried the wedding coordinating business where I make the bridesmaids gown, do the decorations. We owned a dry cleaners in South Haven, and my when my seamstress quit, I did all the alterations. It wasn't my choice. So I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit, and even with my son growing up, I would just tell him, you can have whatever you want to have. Life is a smorgasbord. You can have what you want to have. I even told him, I said, I'm raising the first black president. If that's what you want to do.
Right.
So I knew that I knew it was out there,
Hmm.
but like I said, the information was not always made readily available to us. So I've searched. I'm a student of Les Brown. I love him. I'm a student of Dale Carnegie. And I've just always had this entrepreneurial spirit.
Wow. Them some heavy hitters you just named.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So with that being said, now that you're on this side, what is it that motivates you the most to make sure that people understand about life insurance?
Because as I stated before, there are products here like the new life insurance with benefits
Hmm.
that was not made readily known to us. We've always been presented with term life or whole life.
Hmm.
And there's a whole plethora of other products out there that whereby people can become financially independent using these products.
Hmm.
And that's what basically blew my mind, you
Right.
know. And I'm like, why? I call myself a person who kind of try to stay on top of trends and stay on top of what's happening, what's out there.
Hmm.
But this totally slipped by me. I was not aware of the products that we are have available through PHP. And when I tell you they're amazing, like the living benefits, most people think that life insurance is about final expenses, but they're living benefits that assist you if you're unable to perform two or more daily living activities.
Hmm.
There are benefits that if you're diagnosed with a illness like cancer or have a heart attack or a stroke, that pays your benefit. So basically, you don't have to pass away to take
Right.
advantage of these life products. And then let's not talk about the IULs and the annuities. People out here who are like me have 401ks that when you make a withdrawal, you're paying taxes on. So we have tax-free retirement benefits,
Hmm.
and when the market goes down, you don't lose a dime. But
Exactly right.
when the market goes up, then you reap the benefits of the market going up. But you never lose any money if the market goes down. So it's a win-win situation. To me, it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely. And I know that's kind of why I've gotten into this market because again, at the end of the day, um, I want to be what's known as a plus positive in the community.
Absolutely.
And I believe wholeheartedly when the Bible tells us that you should be the lender and not
And
the
not
borrower.
to borrow.
I believe that. If the
Yes, sir.
Bible says it, I believe it. Um, and again, I know I heard all the businesses that you talked about earlier, and those
Mhm.
businesses are businesses where you work by the sweat of your brow. Good God Almighty,
Absolutely.
like God Almighty, dry cleaning, man,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
and it's hot. Ooh, Jesus, it's hot. So so seeing that now you've transitioned over here, you're not gonna miss that kind of work, are you?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I was always taught to work smarter and not harder.
All right, all
You
right.
know. And these are products that people they need to know about that are
Yeah,
out there that are available to them. Um, and I'm sorry, I'm very, very, very outspoken. There is no one that will. I mean, there's no one who does not need a life insurance policy.
that's right.
No one. I see way too many GoFundMe accounts, and it absolutely breaks my heart to see someone standing on the corner with a sign saying help with final expenses for my loved one. Not only are you grieving the loss of a loved one, you got to go through the struggle of trying to raise funds to pay for final expenses. That absolutely breaks my heart. I
It does.
give every time, but just like the slogan says, I posted, I'd much rather bring your check for $100,000 than to give you a $100 donation to your GoFundMe.
Well, well, I'm gonna just tell you, you're better than me because I don't give. And part of the reason being is that you know I found that there are two things that make people move: pain and fear.
Yes. Yeah.
And uh, we don't try to scare people into getting life insurance, but we really need to make sure that people understand the value of life insurance. And waiting until someone passes or waiting until you get the bad diagnosis, it's too late. Nothing.
Exactly.
Too late.
It's too late, bro. Paul. Nothing
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
be. But again, so the it's not fear, but it's really more like, hey man, you don't want to go through that. It's akin to how a parent tells a child, as teenagers start getting older, they start smelling themselves
Yeah.
because
Mm,
they think we have not gone through those things that they've gone.
right. Right.
And so it's one of those situations where it's like, look, man, I'm just trying to tell you, you don't want that.
That's
Uh,
Right.
true.
but again, people don't listen.
Right.
So then people go through the pain.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the time, that pain is so detrimental. It's so sad to see what people go through. Uh,
Yes.
because, one of the things that, you know, and it's not fear, but it's just letting you know what's ahead of you. Like, look, if you only got $50,000 worth of life insurance, your family in trouble. There's nothing else to say about it. You just passed on poverty to your future generation. And you just made it easy for Mr. Charlie to come on in. You did. You just made it easy. And now your legacy is gone by the wayside. Right. And
Mhm.
because again, what your family is gonna go through is excruciating pain. Because as you said, you can't even grieve. Because right now you got to be out here shaking a bucket and doing all this and trying to make deals and going into debt when all you had to do was have a 15-minute conversation uh,
Right.
to make sure that your family is protected. Well, we're coming up on 30 minutes, and this has been
Okay.
so.
Wow.
Let me ask this one last thing. So, um, what would you say to the people out there that to your family members, to your loved ones, what would you say to them about this journey that you and Paul are on right now?
Well, our journey is simply this. It's actually a crusade,
Okay.
and I want to make everyone aware of the products that are out there that we had no knowledge of.
Hmm.
I want to urge them if they're not protected, if they're not covered, they don't have a policy, get insured today.
That's right.
I remember coming up, my mom used to always say it's better to have and not need
That's right.
than to need and not have.
That's it.
Exactly right. Oh
Insurance, life insurance is one of those things, especially the new life insurance with the living benefits.
yeah. Yes, ma'am.
It is better to have and not need. But one thing about it, nobody's not going to use life insurance. We're all destined for that destination.
The
That's
upper.
one. That's one product will never ever not be used.
That's right.
One
That,
hundred percent.
that's right.
So, if you're not covered, I compel you to think of I guess, the emotional duress that your family will go through, not only having to grieve the loss of their loved ones,
Mhm.
but then have to go through the agony and the fear of not knowing what to do to raise family expenses
Exactly
or
right.
to take care of the funeral expenses. Don't put your family through that. And I'll be honest with you, I've had to go through it more than once in my lifetime.
Right.
You know, and I have made sure that I've been on a crusade first with my family
Hmm.
to let them know, hey, you need life insurance.
That's right.
Don't leave that burden back on the people that you leave behind.
That's right.
Don't put them through that. I've seen a slogan that says, "Life insurance is an act of love."
That's right.
Show them that you love them enough to protect them from having to go through that.
That's right. That's right.
In a
Well,
nutshell,
let me ask you or Mr. Paul, either one of y'all can answer this question, right? What do you think caused people to not take life insurance into consideration? What do you think?
well,
Well, for part of that is because of what we saw, how we were raised,
Uh-huh.
and it kind of goes like this here. We saw it. Mama and Daddy said, "Go outside. We take care of this here."
Right.
So what they did, they bought the insurance, but they never said, "Come in, let me tell you about this."
That's right.
It was never passed along.
Education. Got it. Okay. Okay. Got it.
okay.
So after all of that, then you grow up, you not knowing it, and then you have to come back to it
Uh-huh.
because everybody has to go through it.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
And like I was saying, if you ain't got it, you can't use it. And then you got to scramble to go and get help
That's
from
right.
wherever you can get it from.
You have family meetings. How we gonna pay for a Ray Ray's funeral? But like I said, I've experienced this several times in my lifetime, and I would not want to leave that type of legacy behind.
Right.
I would not want my family to remember me that way, that they had to get together and struggle to come up with the funeral expenses for me. I would not want that for my family.
Right.
You know.
Nobody wants that now, especially at now time, because now we're finding out that we can do what's been going on for a long time. We
That's
can
right.
get a man do it ourselves and help each other, pull each other up,
That's right.
and move forward.
That's right. That's right. Well, listen, y'all. I'm super excited about y'all. Y'all already know that. I'm just hope I'm when I say I'm over the moon elated to have you all here working with us, primarily out of our Memphis office. I just really can't stress that enough. I know y'all have a website. What's your website and where can people find y'all at? How can they get in contact with you?
You can get in contact with us at www.protectyourfamilynow.net.
Okay.
That's www.protectyourfamilynow.net.
Not just protect it, but protect your family now. I love it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you are one diagnosis away from not being able to get life insurance. A lot of people, they don't know this. That's the reason our goal to educate people. You are one doctor visit away from not being able to get any type of coverage at all. You
So
end up with a 995 plan, paying for $1,000 for life insurance that ain't gonna do nothing but buy you a flower.
facts, facts, and there's no need for it. There's no need for it.
Absolutely not.
Well, listen, I have enjoyed myself tonight. Uh, Again, I'm so godly proud of y'all. So glad to have y'all as a part
Thank
of
you,
the
thank
family.
you.
Thank you, sir.
And we look forward to doing great things from you folks. Y'all heard it here. Y'all heard how to get in touch with them. Protect your family now. Matter of fact, www. Protect your family now. That's how you get in touch with Paul and Carolyn Pierce. Again, the leaders of the Generational Wealth Builder Dynasty organization. And so again, we're super excited to have y'all on the call. So
Thank
again,
you for having us.
Thank
yes,
you
ma'am.
for having us.
Yes, ma'am. So again, so everyone, until next time, y'all know what we always say: knowledge is not power until it's applied. You
That's
can have an
right.
18-wheeler truck gassed up and ready to go, but it's not until you actually apply the clutch, put it in gear, that you're actually going to start moving forward. And so our prayer, our hope is that you take something that you heard tonight, you apply it to your life, and you start moving forward. Until next time, y'all have a good night. God bless. Bye
Good
bye.
night.
Good
Love
night.
you.
Bye
Good
bye.
night.